Welcome everybody to our Zoomcast. We start a new series about real estate investment, which is one of the most interesting and intriguing topic. My name is Claudiu Peter. I'm a full-time real estate investor, and I have here my amazing co-host, Mr. Herby Honore, who is going to join us and walk you through the journey of real estate, which is going to be a beautiful new topic for what is going to come in the future, which is going to be a potential downfall, which is going to come for sure. It just is going to be a matter of time when it's going to happen. This being said, I welcome Mr. Herby Honore to say a few words and tell more about his journey here in real estate, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the current market situation that we're in real estate and why it's a good time to invest in real estate.
Absolutely. Claudio, good morning. Thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity, and I'm humbled that you allow me to take this opportunity to share with you and to talk about real estate. And like you said, man, real estate is the best thing to ever happen to both of us. You know, my company name is Honore Empire Incorporated, a family established company. We started real estate in 2016 with an LLC of SH Real Estate Investment. We still have that LLC, but we hold it for rental properties. But my wife and I, we have an S corporation now, and we're doing real estate, and we love it. Mr. Claudio and I go way back. You know, when I first started, I met him in 2016 out in the parking lot behind my condo. And from there, me and him met, we clicked, and then we took off, you know. So it was a great experience. So I consider him family. We're very, very close. We're always busy, but we always make sure we check on each other and make sure we have time, you know, and make sure to check on everybody's good in the family and stuff like that. So it's an honor to be here, honored to be here with Claudio to share his knowledge. Let me tell you something. This man here, Claudio, has a lot of knowledge in the real estate market. You know, it's because of him that a lot of people don't like me because of my low ball offers. But, but you know, hey, it has to be done. You know, because you know it's just in this market you're gonna realize, guys, that real estate is very, very competitive, right, Claudio? Very competitive.
100%, sir. 100%, sir.
And you have to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive. You have to go out there and get it, and you have to make sure you crunch your numbers and make it happen, you know. So I mean, real estate is 90% of millionaires started in real estate or have some type of real estate in their portfolio. So if you have any aspiration at all to become a millionaire, I mean, you might want to tap into some real estate. Right, Claudio?
100%. Invest in real estate if you want to invest in your future. That's without a doubt. Mr. Honore, you brought some very interesting topic there. You know, you have two companies. Why is that? And can you just briefly talk about the idea why you have an LLC and also an S corporation?
Absolutely. Knowledge is everything, right, Claudio? Knowledge is power. You know, I went to a meeting one time that Claudio invited me to, and you see, that's why I love. You have to understand, when you have people in your corner, people who you started with, and you know they're helping you grow. You know, always listen and always take heed to what they're trying to tell you. Claudio told me about this meeting that we went to as far as for taxes, you know, when it comes to your business, you know, and taxes and business and real estate, etc., is very, very important. I went to the meeting Claudio invited me to. We listened to a very, very knowledgeable guy who owns a big company, Kohler and Air. Yeah, Mark Kohler. And he told me about, he was sitting there asking questions, being transparent. And I asked him, I said, hey, he brought up an interesting point about how much money we're spending in taxes as a company under an LLC if you're doing multiple fix and flips. And I asked him, I said, well, hey, I've been doing all my fix and flips under my LLC. And he says, whoa, you know, what is your situation? You know, are you unemployed? And, you know, I said, well, no, I'm working full time and still doing a fix and flip, which, you know, I'm able to balance. And then he said, well, you need to go and have an S corp to save on taxes, you know. And I've learned more about it, and then I realized, I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad I came to this meeting because it makes so much sense. Claudio, why am I spending so much money in taxes under my LLC for fix and flips where the S corp is benefiting me a lot more? So hey, that's why Honore Empire Incorporation was born, and we're here today a year later. You know, last year we did 1.6 million in sales in real estate, and we're just growing, and we expect to do more next year. So it's just a great journey. And like I said, you have to have the people on your side. Claudio invited me. I went, took the knowledge, and learn, you know. So Claudio, it's just very important. The difference is you have the LLC. You want to LLC should be for buy and holds. Whether you have an S corp or a C corp, your corporation should be for when you're doing multiple transactions such as fix and flips, you're buying and reselling, etc. But if you're holding properties under the LLC,
100%, that's the right way. This being said, what do you think it should be the journey of any person that wants to start in real estate? You know, do you think there should be some steps that they should take or should consider? Or tell a little bit about how you started. What is your trend of thoughts about how a person that wants to get in this field, they should dip their toes inside, or how they should actually start it? So in that way, the audience that's going to hear us today, they're going to have like a little bit more understanding about what should be the next or the first step that they should do, and how they should see this one as their next maybe future business model.
absolutely. I'm when it comes to the question that Claudio just asked, you know, the very most important thing is foundation. Okay, foundation. You have to have a strong foundation before you dip your head into anything that you're not sure about, especially when you're just getting into it. You know, when Claudio and I met in 2016, he'll tell you, you know, I asked him so many questions. I asked him so many questions. How do I get started? And then make sure I had everything in order to be able to get into that place where I need to be to start. You know, he told me, hey, you have LLC. No, I didn't have an LLC. Hey, do you have this? Do you have that? I'm like, well, I have a lot of things to do before I, you know, dip into real estate. You know, so foundation, you know, first off, you want to make sure you have some type of LLC or business idea. You know, what is your company's name? What are you going to name your company? You know, avoid the, you know, the mistakes that I made in the past. If you know you're going to go into fix and flip immediately, make sure you have an incorporation, not an LLC to do fix and flips, you know. But if you're starting brand new too, maybe if you're doing 1 or 2 flips a year, LLC, okay, no problem. But if you know you're going to be going into it and you want to commit to it, then just go ahead straight into the corporation. You know, don't waste any time, you know. So have the business idea ready. Get that started. Once you have the business idea and you go on sunbiz.org and get your business started, then you're going to have the EIN number information that comes in where you get registered with the federal IRS to make sure that you can go get your bank account. All right. So with your LLC or business documents with the IRS EIN letter, you know, you can go ahead and open up your business account. All right. Once you have your business account established, you know, and people say, hey, invest in real estate with no money. That's true. Very true. But there has to be some type of sacrifice. I remember the first project Claudio and I did, you know, even if we didn't have that much money to invest, but we sacrificed a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, and a lot of other stuff we sacrificed in time to actually make it happen. You know, so, you know, I only had $10,000 in life savings when I did my first investment with Claudio. And, you know, we took a chance. You know, we took that whole 10,000 and invested in it, like, hey, it's all or nothing. You know, when are you going to get into the mindset when it's all or nothing for you to invest into your future? That's the only thing you can do. You know, you can't be afraid to take that step. You can't be afraid to push and make that move. But you're getting all the information now. Build the foundation. Get your business going. Get the IRS EIN number. Get your business bank account. All right. Once that's established, connect with the right people like us. We're doing these videos. Feel free to Claudio give you his information. Feel free to reach out to Claudio. He'll connect you with us, whatever. We'll help get you started. We'll help you get into your first real estate investment. You know, all that stuff that you connect. Networking is very important. You know, once you network with the right set of people, then you'll have access to all the deals and all the properties that you need to go to as far as going into your first investment. So definitely, you know, foundation is more important, Claudio, I think, when it comes to starting in this journey. And once you get the foundation started, like I said, you have people like us that you can reach out to help you get to the next step.
Sounds very good and sounds the right way. Do you think the people, they should be having like kind of a determination when they start here, or are they just going to be like, hey, I'm thinking I'm going to do this for the money, or maybe it's better to have a why?
Yeah, hey, I like that. now you're opening up a big can of worms. a
Yeah.
lot of people come into this business saying that, oh, I'm gonna do one flip. I'm gonna be like HGTV and make $80,000 on one flip profit. Oh, they're gonna hit reality real quick. You know, it's not realistic in that Florida market that you're gonna make $80,000 to $100,000 on one flip. Can it happen? Maybe. you know, but you're gonna have to be selling that property in the $1 million range, you know, and now you talk about more expenses and then more holding costs and more all that stuff that comes with it and more headache, you know. But if you're coming into the flipping business, determination is important. Why are you doing it? What is your motivation? You know, my motivation was my family. You know,
100%.
My mother growing up, you know, working the same job, making $11 an hour for 30 years, and still to this day, she's still doing the same job. She's 60 something years old. My motivation is to help. I have to help her. I have to get her out of that situation. Like my mom been working all this time to give me an opportunity in the United States of America to be able to go into business opportunities. You know, we're our only holdback. We're our only setback. We're the only ones that hold ourselves back from getting into our future, our dream. So what are you going to do about your dream and your future? You know, my mom was struggling. She was doing all this work just to make sure that I'm okay to be able to have this opportunity to invest in real estate where I am now. So that's my determination to give back to my family, to make sure my family never has to struggle, to leave a legacy for my children. You know, determination is more than money. Because if it's all about the money, I would have quit a long time ago because I done took some losses. You know, and then are you gonna run away when you lose? You know, or are you gonna stick to it and reap the reward later? You know, you don't become a millionaire overnight in real estate, but if you do the right steps and the right foundation and you meet with the right people, you can get there slowly but surely.
100%. The journey to success is not done through repeated success, is done to your resistance to failure, to accept failure and to go over it. One of the most epical advice that you will ever receive, it was done a long time ago in 89, with the movie Rocky, yeah? That it was saying very clear, is your resistance to take hits, which is gonna take you to your victory inside of a fight. Well, this is a fight. It's called real estate fight.
Yep.
You have to, you know, to kind of grow a thick skin and figure out how much is your, I will say, resistance to loss, and take all the measurement. Of course, that's possible to make sure that you're not gonna lose. Like when I start with her, we start to work together. One of my biggest concern was to make sure that we're gonna make the most of the money, and without to have the chance of losing. So, you know, to give him that hope of seeing what's possible. And by the way, on the first deal we did, how much money you put in your pocket, you know, since we did the first deal?
Oh, that first deal, we profited 17,000, 17 to 20,000.
Yeah. So that's a whole year salary for two people, easy.
Yeah.
But
it was worth it.
That
it felt good.
Doesn't mean that you're gonna make the same amount of money on your first deal. We had choices, you know, and when I start to work with her, I say, well, there are two choices. Either we're gonna leave somebody to do the work for us, most of the work, or we're gonna take some of the work, put some sweat, and make more money that is gonna, you know, give you that, I can do this, you know. Plus, one of the things that I started at the beginning when we started with Herby, it was why you should put some labor inside of your property. And maybe, Mr. Honore, would you like to tell the idea that why I put you to swing some hammer? What was the purpose of you swinging some hammer inside of the property?
It's a very, very valuable lesson. When I say now, it gives me an understanding, Claudio, of how much work is actually goes into these properties. You know, people think that, hey, oh, well, why are you charging me this much? All it is some drywall, or all it is some paint and this, that. But man, when you have to do that for hours in a day, you know, it can be very tiring and stressful, you know. So, you know, when you actually go in yourself and you understand the labor that these guys are doing for you, you can't just treat your workers any type of way. You can't just take advantage of these guys who are working for you, because, you know, if they feel that they're being undertreated, if they feel they're not being treated the right way, and you're undervaluing them, you know, then that becomes a problem. And then you can lose some good workers. And then if you lose good workers, then you don't have a good foundation. You know, you have to have the foundation. Like I said, once you have your business going, you have to have a good team of contractors, workers, who you know is going to give you fair prices, but at the same time, you're going to make sure you take care of them and you understand the work that they're doing. And then they also understand that you're giving them several projects. So it have to be a relationship, you know. So the foundation with the contractor, you know, have the foundation with your agents, knowing that your real estate agents, hey, they're going to give you maybe a cheaper cost on your commission, but you have a relationship with them. So you partner up with people who, you know, give you a lower cost on your sales, you know, when they sell the property for you. You know, fortunately, my wife have a real estate license, so we keep it in the business together. But just make sure you have the foundation, the contractor, you know, your agent, you know,
You
make
have
sure
to
you have.
build your team around you.
Correct.
You have to have your own team. So yeah, it's very important to have your team ready. And usually the team consists of a real estate agent, a contractor, maybe even 2 or 3 to have a backup. Usually sometimes you're gonna get they're gonna get busy with other projects and you're gonna get uncovered. And it's very essential, the time matter when you buy a property, to make sure they can start as soon as possible to work on the deal that you purchase. Of course, you need to have a title company, a lawyer, which is very important. Of course, an inspector for properties, a appraisal, and I would say definitely to have some backup for hard money lender and mortgage people. Not necessary for yourself, but especially if you're planning to sell the property, you definitely need to have a person that you can trust that's going to help your buyer, your end buyer, after you fix the property, to get to the other end and help them to purchase as soon as possible the deal, so you're not going to be in the deal for a long time.
Absolutely.
Which is valuable points, of course. Also, just to kind of go back to what we said, why it's important to learn to swing a hammer at the beginning, especially if you're planning to not do only wholesale, you want to also fix a flip, where is, you know, it comes the creation that you know, I think the difference between a wholesale and a fix and flip is that element of brownness, of seeing a result from taking something that's ugly and to bring it to something that's amazingly looking beautifully, and you know, that's my, you know, that's my work done there. And having those you know, exposure to the market, and having new buyers come and say, wow, I like what you did here. It's, and that, you know, you feel that accomplishment inside of that statement itself of doing fix and flips, you know.
Absolutely. Even in my company, you know, that's why we have the saying, my wife and I, we always say we're turning a house, which is any house, into somebody's dream home. You know, like you said, Claudio, that's our passion. You know, being able to see this horrific, horrible. You walk into this house and it's just horrible property. You know, walls everywhere, holes in walls, the floor looks rotted, all this nasty stuff that you won't believe what you can see in these properties in real estate nowadays. You know, some of these properties are horrible, but to be able to walk into something like that, to a house, and just say, this is what I can transform it into. And then you see the process, you see the progress, you see the weeks and months that you go through the rigorous transition from house to home. And then when you see the finished product, and then you have that buyer walk into that property and they smile and they send you a contract at full asking price, you know, the feeling that you get from the 3-4 months of the process is just the best feeling ever, you know.
100% with you there. Also, we said about the swinging the hammer. There's another important point. When you learn about the work that you have to be done, also it can protect you for future potential rip-off from people that are trying to do work for you.
Right.
And you will have a better understanding of what it's getting inside of that work. So when somebody is asking more than enough, then you can actually be like, okay, understand the volume. This is how much it can be. And I'm not saying at all, and this is very important for everybody to understand, is not to give the less money, is to give the right money for the right amount of quality.
Correct.
Because we don't want to just put a contractor that's gonna give us a cheap offer and he's gonna make I don't know, a funny work there done, and everything is gonna crumble with the new owner inside. And you don't want to get to that point that they're gonna look for you because well, you saw them a house that is not good. You want to have something that you will live yourself in that property, and you can consider home yourself. So it's very important that, you know, when you take a project, you actually give on the other side a good quality work. But in the same time, you don't have to forget one thing: you cannot overspend, because, well, you're doing this as a business. That means you have to have profits.
Correct.
If you cannot make profits, it should not be considered a business, maybe a hobby. But we
Right.
are talking here about one segment, which is doing real estate as a profit, as a business. That means you have to be very careful with how you buy, where it's actually when you make the money is
Mm-hmm.
the purchase price,
Right.
and how you're going to put the work inside, how you're going to deliver the project until the end, until you sell it, which is very important for everybody to understand that as an investor, we have to be 100% honest and 100% to do this with the idea of giving quality and excellence in service for others, to understand that we care about what we do, because this is our passion as investors, to turn in properties that are in big need of maintenance, you know, in some jewelry, to say like that,
Mm-hmm.
for the specific area. So I think it's very important everybody to understand that part.
Yeah. Every
Now,
penny count. Every
sorry?
penny counts. I said every penny counts.
Yeah,
Every
absolutely,
penny,
100%.
that's a penny removed from your profit. So always keep that in mind. The more you want to be extravagant, the more you want to put this wooden fence up, you want to do this big landscape, and you want to do this, and you want to put spend extra on you want a special vanity custom made, a shower glass. All that money adds up. To that shower glass you installed for $2,000, you just took away $2,000 from your profit if you didn't budget for it.
Well,
You have to budget.
yeah, I think it's very important, like everybody, to understand what operates in that the property is going to give you a return of money. So you have to be very considerate, I think, with what you change in the house and how much is going to give back to you.
Now, Claudio, can you elaborate on that? So, because Claudio's the expert, guys, in appraisals, and he'll tell you a value of a property that nobody can even see or imagine, you know. So I'm gonna tell you guys how Claudio's gonna break it down now. Now, Claudio, you just made a very valid point, and I want you to explain to the people what do you think, Claudio, is the 3 to 4 top most important things? I'll say maybe top five most important things in a property that actually matters when it comes to the value and increasing the value of the property. That actually matters. And then we're going to talk about next what people try to do to bathrooms, the kitchens, stuff that doesn't matter to add value to the property.
100%. I think you know, because this is a very important topic. Anyways, we're gonna have for sure another Zoom cast on this to break it down for you. But just to pinpoint it, you have to think as a walkthrough. You know, when you come first to the property, what are you gonna see? Because that can impact the person that is gonna want to go inside of the house or just watch it from outside and say no, thank you. So the first impression is going to be one of the most biggest point that you have to think. How is going to be the front of the house? It has to be appealing, to feel like a home. You have to make sure you're going to have, I would say, decent landscape that's going to be making people to feel welcome. The exterior aspect of the house is very important when you come to check your future home, to be appealing for you. And now, when I'm saying appeal, I'm not talking about specific colors. I'm talking about colors that they are general, like white. White is a very flat color that make a house beautiful enough for everybody to can see maybe their color, maybe purple. I don't know. We're saying, you know, whatever color they're gonna have the future buy in your mind is gonna be basically something that can change after the purchase. But having that initial take in, it's very important to have a beautiful, I would say, flat aspect, but beautiful aspect of the exterior of the house, the front yard, and how they're gonna walk through the house. Once they open the door, the next thing is gonna be what they're gonna see inside when they open the door. you have to make sure that that interior side, you know, is going to have a welcoming aspect. It's not going to be like, it's very important that to make sure that if you have a smell in the house, you're going to eliminate that smell. It's so important, that smell. It's one of the most key essential when somebody buys a property, to inhale that, I would say, some pleasant feeling of welcoming the house, or, you know, like, to understand that that's a welcome to this property, you know.
Right. So for all
You
you
don't
guys,
want, yes,
so all you people that like air wick and air freshener and all that stuff, that's your moment to put it,
yeah,
you know, after you finish a flip, put that air freshener, air wick plugins all
yeah.
over my
And of
wife will,
course, take out
yeah.
the mold. You know, if it's mold, remove the mold. You know, make sure that there's no mold there. That has to be, you know, from health point of view. And if it's just because somebody had a dog there,
Yep.
definitely do everything that's possible. Those smells, dog, cats, leave the AC on. AC has to work. You cannot sell a property with no AC. AC must work to the right temperature to welcome that. If you're living in a cold climate, the heat has to work. If you come from outside and you open the door, you want to have the same feeling that you want to have it when you walk in your own house as a welcome. And, you know, of course, like I said, the smell and the aspect that you will get in. And of course, the next thing is going to be, well, the kitchen. The kitchen is one of the most crucial elements that you have. First of all, because usually when you sell a house, it's going to be an empty house. It's not going to be with furniture. And the only place you can sign a contract is going to be the kitchen countertop. So make sure that the kitchen countertop has a good feeling.
Yes.
Make sure that it's, you know, especially for ladies, and which is, I would say, number one determination if the house is going to be sold or not. If the ladies, they're going to like the kitchen, they're going to have a big saying in, yes, this is our home and we're going to buy it, or no, we're not going to buy this one. Has to be updated, has to be looking good, has to feel good, has to be spacious as much as possible. And you have to definitely make sure that it's easy to get inside of the kitchen from point 1 to point B without to heat, and you have space enough for, you know, like to cook, to not be crowded and crumble inside of the kitchen. That feeling, it sells you the house. It can sell the house by itself. So number 3, kitchen. Yeah. Number 2, bathrooms. Now it's important. The bathroom has to have that good feeling. You know, we spend quite some time from our lives inside of those
Right.
small rooms. Yeah. And you have to have that feeling of, you know, like, hey, I feel good here. You know, I feel relaxed. I feel, you know, like somebody takes a shower, you have to be able to sing there, not to be ashamed. So it's like,
And
you have to have
Claudio,
that.
right. And to hit that point that you just made with the bathroom, you know, also don't forget, guys, you know, if you have 2 bathrooms in a house minimum, you know, you're going to mix it up. You know, the guest bathroom, you want to make sure it's a tub, you know, for a family that has a child or a baby, so they can have the tub to, you know, take them a shower, etc. But, you know, for the master bathroom, you know, every woman wants that nice big shower, you know, design and, you know, glass. And so, you know, just keep that in mind, you know, mix it up, make it 50-50, 1 shower for the master, and then you could keep the tub in the guest bathroom, you know, for like a family, kids, stuff like that. So just a tip on that, Claudio.
100% agree with you. And by the way, you talk about my next point. You can make an intro on that one, which is family. If your house or your property is a neighborhood that has families, the backyard, that's 100 points. It's like, you have to have it family friendly, kids friendly. You have to make sure it's not going to be sharp objects sticking out. You have to make sure that everything looks nice and neat and safe. And even like, you know, like if you have like 90% family inside of that neighborhood, your probability that your chance that you're going to sell it to a family is going to be extremely high. So maybe even throw like a slide or something, or, you know, something from your imagination that will not take a lot of money, but it's going to be appealing for that specific neighborhood. when you invest, and you usually when you do rehabs, you always have to consider where is your property located. Your location of the property determines how much money you want to put inside and what you're gonna update. It has to be typical for the neighborhood, and it cannot be over improved, which means you cannot spend more money and to be the most beautiful, more gorgeous in the neighborhood, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you're gonna put in that property, you're only gonna receive the money that your end buyer will pay for it. And that's gonna be typically what the bank will approve. And a bank will approve based on the comparables in that specific neighborhood where you're gonna buy, update, and sell your property.
Absolutely.
So
very valid points. You know, take heed to all the instruction because it's very important. And like you said, Claudio, this is just so much that we can share with everyone that this segment is not going to be enough. So I know you guys are interested and excited, but you have to stay tuned for the next one. You know,
for sure, we're gonna go on, and we're gonna make more shows for you, more Zoomcasts. So in that way, we're gonna keep you updated, and maybe next time we can talk also about a very hot subject, which is the COVID-19 and the real estate in Florida, and why you should move in Florida.
Right.
I think that's a good topic for our next show. Thank you very much, Mr. Herby, and I wish you a beautiful, beautiful, productive week and a lot of deals.
Yes, sir. You do the same. And guys, like I said, you know, follow us on social media, Off Market Properties. Claudio to put my information up there as well, but follow us. You know, we're on Instagram, Facebook, everything. So you guys connect with us. We just want to share the knowledge that to give back to the community of the real estate community. So guys, tune in. You know, it's going to be exciting. So tune in for our next show.
Definitely, we're gonna do so, sir, and I'm gonna make sure your information is gonna be on the bottom of the video so everybody can follow it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys.
Please contact us. Feel free, and let's do business together. Yes. Thank you.
All right.